Before 1978, lead paint could still be sold for residential use. Any houses built before 1978 are called target housing. But you don't call it target housing, you call it your investment, and your tenant calls it their home. The federal law requiring lead paint disclosure in properties predating 1978 addresses the health concerns for the tenant as well as the housing safety concerns for you, the owner. There is lead paint in this house. When the paint deteriorates or is disturbed, dust containing lead can enter the living space of the tenant.
The Centers for Disease Control states lead is highly toxic to humans. It has known physiological value to the human body. Exposure to lead should be avoided.
But is it really so bad? I've lived in old houses my entire life, and look at me, I'm just fine. Haven't we exaggerated these risks just a little bit?
Sir, lead is a danger to all when it is exposed. Lead is especially harmful to the developing brain and nervous system of children under 6 years old. Do you see little Susie there?
Yeah, sure. But what exactly does she...
If little Susie were to ever be in a household with exposed lead, she could encounter these problems: abdominal pain, vomiting, slowed development, lowered intelligence, behavioral problems, liver and kidney damage, deafness, blindness, and mental retardation.
Yikes, sorry for doubting you, disembodied voice, but if it's that dangerous to children, how dangerous is it for me?
The dangers for adults are not as severe as they are for children, but exposed lead can still be a health risk factor. Please take a look at the graphic our art department came up with.
Hey, I recognize that figure.
Yes, it is based on you. We figured it would be best to explain the health issues reflected upon your person.
Lead in adults can cause high blood pressure, nerve disorders, digestive problems, and reproductive problems.
And not only did I learn that I am the shape of an eggplant, but I never fully understood how lead could affect me. How do these health issues caused by lead fit with the federal lead-based paint disclosure rule?
The federal lead-based paint disclosure rule tries to help you and those who are renting pre-1978 properties to avoid health risks by letting the renter know the history of the rented property.
Then I would like to know why it is my mandated responsibility to take care of present and future tenants this way. Why is the burden put on me to gather information that has the potential of scaring away new customers? As it is, I'm already surrounded by tons of paperwork and hours of more work after that. How does this rule help me?
As future tenants, buyers, and the overall public become more understanding and knowledgeable of the issues of existing lead in pre-1978 buildings, more will want to know of the possible risks that are involved in renting or owning older properties.
The federal lead-based paint disclosure rule is a law that addresses this. Because lead contamination can have very serious health impacts, the federal law takes into account both the interests of the tenant and the landlord.
The rule's intention is to keep everyone healthy by keeping future renters and owners informed of avoidable risks and to prevent harm, not to burden the owners with additional work. As an owner, you keeping and organizing this important information can keep future residents and associates safe from lead hazards.
So, I am the key of keeping my tenants safe and relieving the burden of safety issues on me by just presenting the necessary information?
Correct. The most important thing you can do with lead paint disclosure rule is to learn how to document and prepare disclosure forms properly and accurately. But did you know you can go further in helping not just your tenants, but also yourself?
How could I do that?
The issue is beyond just up-to-date records regarding lead in your properties, but you can further guard against the eventualities of exposed lead by considering actions to make your property safer.
You can encapsulate the paint, provide a cleaning surface to help keep it clean, change out the windows, and by replacing the windows, you can also get energy efficiency rebates for your taxes, reduce energy costs, and make the place look nicer. You can make your home green, safe, and healthy.
Those sound like reasonable actions to take, but the money isn't there to do these right away. What are these stack of pamphlets doing in all my papers? Protect your family from lead in your home. A guide to protecting families from lead in any building built pre-1978? Look at this. This states it can help possible tenants to understand about how to live safely with lead in older housing. Alright, maybe this has some readily available options for me to do.
The pamphlet warns that when leaded paint is sanded without containment of the dust, unnecessary lead contamination of the home can occur. The pamphlet explains that windows are places where lead dust is often found because of friction and weather. It advises frequent moist cleaning to pick up and remove the dust. It will reduce the risk for them and serve your interests as well by reducing the risk of your liabilities. This allows your business to be set at your pace while also doing the right thing.
So it looks like I have my work cut out for me. I better get started on working out just how to comply with the rule. I can go from there. It's been a year since I took the lead-based paint disclosure rule as something important for myself and my tenants. I checked our apartment buildings for dates built and for presence of exposed lead. I found that our buildings were built in 1948, and there was plenty of work to be done to reduce the presence of lead. I have since painted some walls, put up paneling and replaced door jambs. I've forbidden my lease any scraping or sanding of the paint on the walls, and my tenants know why.
Hi again. After being hired at a new job in a new city, I was on the hunt for a new apartment. But with the understanding of the real dangers of exposed lead in a home, I not only looked at price and location, but for a landlord looking out for my safety. After finding this apartment, I wasn't only given all of the information I needed about its current condition, but he also provided a cleaning service to make sure there isn't any lead dust and insist that at any point, if there is paint that is cracked or peeling, to let him know as soon as possible so that he can correct the issue.
The disclosure rules are about the right for you to know. The renter has the rights to know about lead that is or might be there, and how to protect themselves.
You know, I get it. It's not just the right thing to do, but if it were me, I would certainly demand my family be made aware of any potential hazards that the property owner knows or should know about. That's fair, and it's never a bad idea to protect my investments from a potential liability by simply disclosing what I know. And that's what this does. It's really what this is about.